Boys and girls, children of all ages. Here we are yet again for another thrilling episode of Build That Millennium Falcon. I've decided on this video, I'm going to tell you all the story of strawberries. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Billy. Billy went to school one day, and his teacher asked him to spell a word that was on the board. Billy spelled the word, and after he spelled the word, his teacher freaked out, sent him to the principal's office, and there in the principal's office, the principal had Billy come in and said, "Hey, Billy, how's it going? What's going on?" And Billy was like, "Well, Principal Bananarama Ding Dong came to school today, and up on the board there was this word. My teacher asked me the word, and after I spelt the word, she freaked, or after I told her the word, she freaked out and sent me down here." And the principal's like, "Okay, Billy, that sounds a little weird, but tell me, what's the word?" And Billy says, "Strawberries." The principal flips his lid. He's just like, "Get out of my school right now. I'm not going to deal with this kind of insubordination. Get out of here. You're expelled. Never come back to my school." So Billy leaves school, heads on home, walks in the door of his house, and there's his mom cleaning, because it's the 80s, and that's what moms did back in the 80s. They sat around cleaning the house and, watching their soap operas. Well, anywho, his mom's like, "Billy, you're home a little bit early from school, aren't you?" Well, he's like, yeah, a little bit. And she's like, "Well, why?" He's like, "Well, Mom, let me tell you. Went to school today. Teacher asked me a word that was up on the board. When I told her the word, she freaked out and sent me to the principal's office. Well, the principal, after finding out the word, expelled me, kicked me out of school, sent me home." And she's like, "Well, what's the word?" He looks at his mom and he's like, "Strawberries." Now, never in his life has he seen his mom flip her lid like she did this moment. And she lost it. She started screaming at him, and she sent him to his room. Up in his room, she's like, "Don't come out of there until your father gets home." And so Billy headed up to his room, confused, unsure what was going on, but he went to his room, sat down on his bed, and began to read a book. A few hours later, he hears his dad driving up in the big old Chevy Tahoe, slamming the door. Sounds like Dad had another great day at work. Anywho, his dad's usually a pretty reasonable guy, so he doesn't think this is going to be too difficult to get through. But anyways, here's his mom and dad down in the living room chit-chatting. And his mom telling his dad that he needs to go deal with his son, that she's had it. It's the last straw. She can't take it anymore. Father huffs and he starts climbing the stairs, and Billy's getting a little bit nervous now that he knows his dad's reasonable, but this is seeming to go a little bit too far at this point, and he just doesn't know what's going to happen next. Anywho, his dad comes in the room and is like, Billy, my boy, Like, I've had a pretty rough day at work, and your mom's flipping her lid. What's going on? I just want to go eat and rest, watch some Star Trek. Yeah, it's like, Dad, um, I went to school today. My teacher, she asked me a word that was on the board, and when I told her the word, she flipped out, sent me to the principal's office. Well, the principal also, when finding out the word, flipped out, kicked me out of school. Yeah, expelled me, sent me home. I got home and I told Mom the word. She freaked out on me and sent me to my room, telling me I'm grounded and never to come out again. He's like, okay, Billy, how bad's this word? What was the cuss that you said? Like, tell me now. And it's like, Dad, the word was strawberries. There's a brief pause here, and his dad all of a sudden just loses his mind. He freaks out, gives Billy a good crack up the back of the head, like we all got back in the 80s, tells him to get the F out of his house. He's not wanted there anymore, or ever again. And that's what Billy does. He packs up and he leaves. Well, a few years later, Billy's on the streets. It's been probably, I don't know, 10 years or so, living on the streets with a group of other riffraff, street rats, hoodlums, runaways, and the such. And one of the kids goes up to Billy and he's like, man, Billy, you been out here with us for what, like 10 years or something, right, man? Tell me, what happened? How'd you get stuck out here with us? Billy, a little bit apprehensive, as he well should be at this point about telling anybody the story, says, well, I guess I can trust you guys. We've been through a lot of stuff together, hunger and, fights and, thick and thin. We've been together. So, you know what? I'll tell you guys. And he goes through the story. He's like, one day I went to school. Teacher asked me a word that was up on the board. Told her the word. And when I told her, she flipped out. Like, sent me to the principal's office. I go down there. Principal asks me what's going on. What happened? Why I'm down there? And I tell him the word. He then flips out. Kicks me out of school. Expelled. Sends me home. I go home to my mom. My mom asked me this word, and she loses herself. Like, grounds me forever. Sends me to my room. That's that. And then my dad, when he finally gets home, loses his shit and fucking kicks me out of the house. So overall, I'm out here for a word. And they're like, a word, Billy? That sounds ridiculous. He's like, yeah, you're telling me a word. And I'm like, well, what's the word? Billy looks at them and he's like, strawberries. Well, damn, Billy catches the ass whooping of his life. Catches the ass whooping of his life. These kids beat the crap out of Billy. Leave him in a pile of just blood and urine. And poor kid's all messed up. Lucky for Billy, along comes a little old lady. He was like, hello, Sonny. What happened? What's wrong? And Billy looks at the old lady and he's like, ma'am, I am just about done. I just can't do this anymore. She's like, what has happened to you, my boy? Tell me, I'll take good care of you. And Billy goes into the story. He's like, well, what the hell can't hurt anymore? And he tells the story of how he went to school one day. Teacher asked him a word. The word on the board. Billy told the word to the teacher. She lost her shit. Sent him to the principal's office. Once he told the principal the word, the principal lost their shit, kicked him out of school. Then got home. Mom, finding out he's expelled, asked him what the word was. Kicks him out of the house. Or no. She sends him to his room. The father comes home. He kicks me out of my house. And then I'm living on the streets for the past decade, and finally told the story to my friends, and well, they didn't quite appreciate it as much as I thought they might, and they kind of took matters into their own hands, and well, here we are, man. She looks at the boy, Billy, and she's like, Billy boy, what is this word? What has caused you such strife? It's like, man, strawberries. This old lady starts freaking out, smacking Billy with a handbag, runs off, gets a police officer. Billy, still in this bloody pulp, lying on the floor. Just is done. He's ready to just be taken off, whatever. Like, finish it, officer. I can't take it anymore. And as the officer comes over, he looks at the boy and he's like, boy, I hear you've been causing some trouble. You want to tell me what the story is? Billy looks at the officer and he's like, no, I don't. And the officer's like, well, that's too bad, because you're going to have to. And Billy starts the story of strawberries and how he went to school one day. His teacher asked him a word that was on the board. When he told her the word, ooh, this looks good. When he told her the word, she freaked out, sent him to the principal's office. The principal expelled him for the word. His mom sent his room for the word. His dad kicked him out of his house for the word. His friends kicked his ass for the word. And then this old lady, well, she did what she did, and now you're here talking to me. It's like, boy, this is a strange story, but now tell me, what is this word? He looks at the officer and he's just like, strawberries. Bam! Billy gets locked up. I lost the name. Billy gets locked up, thrown in jail for 10 years. So when Billy gets out, he's a older man now. And he's seen some shit. He gets out of jail and he's walking across the street and bam, hit by a bus. What's the moral of our story? Look both ways before you cross the street. That's the end of strawberries and the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story of strawberries. My children think it's hilarious. I had fun telling it, and it seems it's a good 14-minute story, so that's good to know. Have a good day, and see you